Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very, very exciting conclusion of the 2020 MVP Open at Maple Hill. Our coverage is presented by OTB Discs, and we have a barn burner here, Paul. Big Barry commentary bringing you the action. Jeremy Koling, joined by Paul Ulibarri.
I cannot wait to see what happens. Like I said in the previous 9 holes, we have a classic battle.
Yes, we do, and we've got the Ricky Wysocki, Paul McBeth rivalry going into the final 9 holes here at Maple Hill. McBeth seemingly out of the event in 3 holes, jumped right back into it. Needed a little bit of help from Ricky Wysocki, and he got everything he needed and more. And there's just 9 holes left to play to determine our winner this year. Starting on hole 10, par 3, 380 million feet up the hill. This is an absolute crush. We're just going and picking your, maybe not your flippiest driver, but definitely the one that you want to have flip up, throw it with hyzer as high as you pretty much can.
Yeah, 4 clear of the rest of the field. These guys are putting on a show, which means they're going to have looks.
That's right. And Paul off to the left side, he getting pretty much all the distance you really need to have a look at the birdie.
Yeah, a bit outside of the circle, though. That's going to be a tough little look at it, and this is
a pretty good kick.
Yeah, pretty good kick there. That was definitely a pull job there.
I contacted Robert Pulaski for a pull job to try to get my hot tub fixed in the backyard.
Pretty good prices, that guy.
Pretty good prices, Bob Pulaski.
Love that guy every time.
Ricky.
Calvin rarely has to worry about his pull because he throws darts.
Yeah, that's the quickest this disc is anyone's ever driven to the hole. That's a Ferrari to the parking spot.
That is right. And this could be drifting, and that's difficult. Now this is coming back at the castle basket and
an air ball, and you've got 50 feet left for the bogey. Oh, and Ricky thought he made it, and I did too, just off the left side chains, and a really good effort from in the Christmas trees. But Paul now an opportunity to take his first lead. He's just automatic.
I mean, that's not automatic. That is just pure clutch gene in this guy. Oh my goodness, right on the right side. You know what? I've noticed this about Paul McBeth, Ricky, and Eagle, the 3 best putters we have right now, and the ways that they make them. Paul McBeth hits that right side, slides through so soft. First real big mistake we've seen from...
Yeah, Kyle has been bogey free, and now he is bogey at best, and he still has a lot of work to get that bogey. And the last time you ever want to have a spit out. I mean,
Kobe.
Parking problems. I mean, I have actually seen somebody Calvin's height before. I don't want to say his name to disparage him, but the shortest putt I've ever seen miss, that was an actual miss and not a spit out in disc golf history, was on this hole. A 6'5" guy was on the wall, and this pyramid used to have little flowers, little planter boxes, and he hit one of the flowers right in front of him from 4 feet. It can happen. You actually want to be about 5 feet off that wall. So Calvin's drive was almost too good. Hole 11, the Christmas tree hole. Pick your longest disc and absolutely rip it. We have got a nice tailwind, so it sets up for a big bomb tee shot. From there, you go into a tight gap as it funnels up to the pin. One of the easier birdies on the course when the wind is blowing at your back.
I love that Paul decides to not throw anything understable. You could turn it over and drift into that right shrubbery and really have no chance at the birdie. He plays hyzer to the right side with maybe a semi-stable disc.
Yep.
Gets into position. And, man, when Paul McBeth is in position, it's a pretty dangerous thing.
Now he's got the lead lead and in position as a double trouble. Calvin and Paul throwing absolute buttes. Ricky turning it over a bit.
And this is what I was worried about.
And that is looking... Oh, it just holds on, and the spotter able to dance his way out of the roll path for Rick. Spots it there.
Yeah, that's just a little chip hyzer with the sidearm from there. So a good break from him, a little bit more turned over, and that could spell trouble, but he should be fine from there.
Yeah. Kyle Klein, after the unfortunate double bogey, comes back with a nice big tee shot. He'll be up first.
And I can't reiterate how refreshing it is to see a new kid on the tour, you know, just playing at an absolute high level. I mean, I just love seeing it. He's young, and that's a stock hyzer for Ricky. That is a big-time mistake.
Yeah, and Rick has won this event a couple times, but he has also lost some heartbreakers. And you got to imagine that coming down the stretch and losing that comfortable lead, maybe those memories of hurt in the past are starting to creep back into his mind. And now Paul has got all the momentum and the opportunity to widen that lead to 2 shots.
Oh, my gosh.
And does not take advantage of that.
Yeah, then that was an absolute shank job from Paul. You don't see that very often, but... Let's not forget about the shot that Calvin just threw with the sidearm. I mean, talk about an underrated sidearm. You keep throwing shots like that, you're going to be known for one of the better ones in the game if you keep it up.
And Rick
Come on,
pitching
man.
that one up.
Up in the air.
Yeah. Paul still not necessarily out of birdie position here at circle 2. Green light, go, but catches the very lowest part of those hanging down tree limbs.
I love to see these two battle because Ricky complaining about his height, like he wanted to make it. Paul hitting a limb. They're both getting pars, both 60 plus out, both extremely mad about the result after those shots. I mean, that's something that you only see with a few competitors. And
well, at this point, you don't have to worry about how you don't have to worry about how the field is playing this hole, because it's not about the field at this point. They've both played so well that the separation between them and the next best is so much that Calvin would essentially have to birdie out, and they'd both have to just roll their ankle and not be able to finish. So at this point, it's really match play. And so every single opportunity that the door opens, the other one is obviously doing everything they can to make that next shot. Hole 12, par 4, 650 feet. Coming back uphill into a headwind, it's going to be a difficult read. Certainly, everyone's going to be watching Calvin's drive here as he has earned the box. Want to play to the right side of the fairway.
And Calvin with back-to-back birdies really putting a nice round together.
Yeah, had that little bit of a difficult stretch on 6-7, and that clears the hill and doesn't go down the hill to the left, which is a very common mistake that you see once a big drive gets up there. Oftentimes it hyzers down the hill into a really difficult spot.
Go right! Come on, it's a straight headwind. My goodness, man.
And really, the fact that he gets so far left down in there, he's going to have some sort of really tight gap. He's going to at least get par. I know that from being down there from experience, and he might even have some sort of look at the birdie. Ricky, on the other hand, has thrown a bullet.
And that has fooled even our camera guys, is that really, in these conditions and to this headwind, once again, Ricky couldn't have walked down the fairway and placed it in a better spot, especially after seeing Paul hyzer down to that really difficult left side fairway. You know the opportunity he's feeling. He's sensing an opportunity to gain that shot back.
And really, the rest of the field is trying to play exactly where Kyle played this. They want to place it to the top part of this ridge and then throw a sidearm or a turnover down there. I mean, really well played from the kid.
And getting through those bunkers of trees at the end, setting up a short circle 1 putt for the birdie.
And this is scramble land for Paul, but he has this really understable mid-range that he's been doing wonders with. Okay. Okay.
Absolutely absurd. There's no camera in the world that could capture how sick that shot was. Calvin, once again, flexing that forehand. A beautiful approach. Great touch. And now the pressure's squarely back on Ricky.
Jump putt turned over. He even says it really.
Wow.
Oh,
Jump
wow.
square head like that.
And tries running it from 80 to 100
and that's
feet.
not a gimme coming back up the hill.
No. Look at that. I
Good.
truly love Kyle's putt.
I kind of love Kyle. The kid's just got all the confidence in the world. I love how after he makes the putt, he keeps that head up.
Yep. And that is a great par save, but not a great par.
Well, that's back-to-back holes where Ricky had pretty much stock shots into the green and messed them up.
You're not going to see Ricky miss 11, 12 back-to-back very often.
Especially from the positions that he was in.
Sure, yeah. And I actually feel like a part of his decision to go jump putt there goes back to the skins match that we had.
I haven't hit that fairway once.
Never had a draft.
Yeah, I was going this for this shot. I was going this window, and I must have kicked one of these. It was gonna end up kind of where Ricky was.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But Ricky's tee shot in the skins match was right there. He throws the sidearm, gets the birdie, but says, I could have just jump putted that. And so maybe a little bit of foreshadowing back before the event even started, playing up into this position from several days ago. And Paul, from out of position, somehow manages to scrap his way up there and gets another shot on Rick. He's now got a 2-shot cushion heading into hole 13, downhill 470 feet from the tee. Calvin with the box, going with, I believe, a rock.
This is a common mistake. You feel that headwind.
Wow, a great kick.
And so you really want to hug that left side, and then the left side comes in super fast when you're throwing down the hill, and you can't get that turn. This is not the best tee shot from Paul McBeth. Does he get the love?
And it just kicks straight down. That's okay.
And this is a spot where Ricky Wysocki really needs this stroke, not to overlook this, pretty decent drive there from Kyle, but
Yeah, this is an opportunity to say the least. Was not expecting to see that from Rick going the hyzer, and that's way too inside.
I feel like that's pretty good.
Okay, so a good tree kick, but
I mean, that's what you're playing for, really.
yeah. The best hyzer shots that we've seen in the past have gone a lot wider than that, but I think maybe a somewhat good kick.
I knew the wind was gonna smash it down.
Paul not necessarily needing to go for anything too aggressive right now, as he's given himself.
He was going for that,
He
though.
was going for it, but that was an aggressive run from Calvin, and I would say that was a somewhat non-aggressive run from Paul. Kyle, wide swing, and that stayed close. That can get really quick. And did Ricky somehow get closer?
Yeah, I think Ricky pitches up pretty close to where Kyle is, and
so Ricky's going to settle for the par. Unfortunately, Kyle not quite focusing in enough on his putt and misses right side.
Couple pars, but at this point, 2-stroke lead, holes running out. I mean, every hole is a 2-stroke hole,
Yeah.
really,
And if there's
down the stretch at this course. But
if there's any of them on the course left, it is hole 14. This is certainly a hole where dreams are made and lost. We've seen some incredible putts from players on this card in the past from the woods, staring down that ever so intimidating putt towards the water's edge. Players are going to want to look to throw a somewhat stable driver out over the water and hyzer right into that mulch pile. We saw Kyle do it in round 2 to perfection. Calvin, look at the wind out there playing tricks on the disc. If that just hits that hillside there, that could be pretty okay.
that's just going to be a layup from wherever that ended up. And this is too straight. He's going to need to carry this water.
Yes.
Oh, lucky ducky, really.
Yes, that was a miss. Turned into a make.
But this is a chance for Ricky. He gets this one close, gets some sort of putt.
That's okay.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Unreal.
Perfect shot.
Wow.
Well, so you do have a left to right wind. You get the disc over on Anheuser, and it is going to get
Heartbreak.
pounded into the water. But
See if Kyle can read the wind here.
now notice how his never gets to Anheuser
Yep.
and then is able to come in. Oh, wow.
This is exactly what we saw. Okay, so Kyle came up to me and asked for a follow flight. And so I said, you're going to have to throw the same shot again. If you want to get a follow flight, do the same thing. And I don't know. I think that's the same. We're getting a flashback to round 2. Okay, so this is literally the same exact shot. All right, you get your follow flight, and you get 2 of them, Kyle. That's the first ever flashback follow flight. Well done to him. Now Ricky is in the very difficult position of having to go to this drop zone and battle this wind.
This is a lot of trust. Oh, my.
That was a fantastic shot. Ricky's not going to be happy about it, but that could have gotten a lot worse.
Paul doesn't go for this. You got to lay this up.
Why would you go? Why would you lay up?
Why would you go for it?
Oh, of course, I was kidding, but the way he's playing, I mean, you can't imagine that you'd ever miss.
He needs to calm down.
And Calvin actually not in a position to really lay up. This is one of those positions we were talking about earlier where, oh, wow, what an awesome putt.
Yeah, and it looked like he took a big skip out into nowhere's
Yeah.
land, but he actually just outside the circle, and you're right, this isn't one that you can lay up, especially battling for third place,
Sure.
4th place, jockeying for position down the stretch. Beautiful.
And with that, you know, I mean, Ricky about to take a bogey. He's only going to be 2 shots back of Ricky. He's kind of in contention for second place now. And Paul just getting that over the rim, and a par is enough to gain another shot here on Rick and running out of holes. Hole 15, par 3, 355 feet. Straight through the trees. Just going to want to avoid these early trees if you can. And try to miss these late trees as well. Anything early is going to set up a very difficult par save. Those early trees seem to kick you down to those Creighton myrtles and almost allow you to not even be able to swing your arm through the shot. So imperative to get past that initial gap.
And you're completely right. It's holes like this that really win you tournaments. The ones that are kind of a little bit awkward, but you get, they're that one stroke holes.
Yeah.
To where you throw a perfect shot, you get a birdie. You throw it a little bit off.
It's a scramble.
Absolutely.
Calvin, one of the first times I've ever seen someone go hyzer through the straight gap. Kyle, absolute gem. That's going to be back-to-back birdies for Kyle, bouncing back from the bogey on hole 13. And McBeth down the middle, catching right side.
Doesn't it just seem like the basket still looks pretty big from there when you're Paul McBeth?
Yeah, sure.
Get past it.
Rick, just not been his day, and you can see that in the back. The last 8 holes, he's 2 over par, and
especially on the 9 that he's really been just dominating and really flexing on the field.
I believe he went 7 under par on the back 9 in round 2. I think he went 6 down on the back 9 in round 1, and only has
Oh, come on. Not even close.
0
never
bogeys
high
in the
enough.
back 9 right now. And
Not
Paul's
for a
greedy.
second high enough.
I mean, I would be happy with that result from there.
Paul's not ever happy
No.
until that tournament is over and he's got the title.
I still think he's not happy.
Birdie.
Very beautiful birdie there from Kyle. Like you said, flipping that hyzer up and really using the fairway to his advantage. I mean, that's really what you call cheating the hole.
And Paul with the tap out par. He's got 3 shots, and there are 3 holes remaining. 17 is almost, I don't want to say a gimme birdie, but you don't think that you're going to gain a shot on the new one. So if Rick's going to do anything, it's going to have to be something special here and something special on 18 if he wants any shot at the title. Par 3, 475 feet is, I believe, the correct distance. Players are going to want to take their straightest fairway driver. For Garrett Gerthy, somehow that's a Firebird. But for other people, that's usually something a little bit more understable. Try to match the heroics that Kevin Jones gave us earlier this week with that beautiful hole-in-one.
Calvin is putting together a very solid back 9 with 5 under par on the last 6 holes.
And sneaking through everything. That's going to be a tap-in on hole 16. Was that down the middle or was that left side the whole way?
I think he went through this left gap and then just had the right disc.
That's missing the line just barely, but you pick the right disc and you throw it hard enough and you're going to get yourself a short birdie putt. That's a thing at Butte. Kyle getting that kicked off to the left side, staying safe. There is OB right on the other side of those rocks, so that was a good break to stay on the safe side. But a beautiful throw down the middle. And Paul with a nice release.
Come on, give me a skip. Go in.
Oh my God. Yeah. How do you just call for a skip in high grass and then get it counter flare to the basket to a tap in?
Yeah, it's like muddy down there and stuff.
What is that? How do you know this is going to happen?
Well, let's see.
Oh my goodness. Essentially that shuts the door. That slams the door, excuse me. That slams the door shut. I mean, this is looking good for Ricky. Please get through. God, this is just as it's a little tough to watch actually because he's just played so well this week and just not getting. Things just aren't going his way today on the back 9.
But the back nine's where you need it to go your way. That's when
Yeah.
you win tournaments. And
Well, do we have a little throw in here from Kyle, perhaps from 72 feet? No, we don't. A little tricky. A little graphics department getting me again.
And Calvin really pulling away from fourth place right now.
Yep.
Really, we have Ricky and Paul a few ahead of him, and he's kind of pulling away. And then Kyle is in that battle for fourth place as well. So,
I mean, Calvin looked like he was experiencing a very difficult trip on the struggle bus. Coming in 6 and 7, going 5-4, and since then he has righted the ship 6 down in the past 9 holes. More importantly, birdieing the last 3, 14 and 16 being 2 of the tougher birdies on the course. Playing some fantastic disc golf, and Paul McBeth just being Paul McBeth. Once again, proving why he's been the player of our generation. Just never goes away, does he?
it's kind of like this bike rider. You think you got him, and then in just a second.
Keep pedaling.
Yep, you got him. You got him.
Nope.
Nope.
Right there. There he is, making his way back into the picture. Par 4 that is somewhat attackable.
Especially by this young man. I would hate to be this disc right now.
Well, you're going to go on a fun journey.
Up and down and long and far and into
Left
the woods.
and left and more left. And that is...
That's a brutal spot.
That's out of birdie spot. That's a par spot.
This is one where Ricky needs to get aggressive. Now, Paul's up by 4.
Yeah.
You got to think he's getting the birdie.
Well, Ricky needs to get aggressive because he wants to secure second place. I mean, right now, Calvin's out of position. And, I mean...
Ricky's not thinking about that in any way. He's thinking about somehow getting this over the ridge, getting himself an eagle putt, and then throwing it on 18. Because that's what you and I would be thinking about at this point as well.
Kyle not quite getting that nose down enough. This is going to be drifting left, but not as far as Calvin's. And actually pretty nice that it didn't skip at all. That opens up the angle for the approach.
Let's see if Ricky has an extra gear left in the tank with a little turnover. He gets it over, but
I like this.
It's a little too low.
Oh, yeah. It's driven, though, forward. No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's about
Good
as good as
call.
you really ever see on this one. At this distance, to get the driver still turning over takes a disc that I don't personally possess and a skill that I don't possess.
And if there's anybody you want putting that disc from there, it's Ricky Wysocki.
Yep. I'll take a confident Ricky Wysocki, or a Wysocki with a 3-stroke advantage.
I'll take an unconfident Ricky Wysocki from anywhere. Beautiful touch from Kyle.
Yep. We're seeing some really good stuff from this young kid this week. He's played very well. And I mean...
And there's a lot of kids like him. It's not just him. This, like I said in the couple rounds prior, is the future is bright for our sport.
Yep. Calvin indeed having to lay up for the par. And Ricky, look at that. So maybe that he is conceded.
Yeah, that's conceding for sure.
And acknowledging that he's still, there's a big price difference in payout, difference in second and third place. And, also keep in mind, this is the 9th stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We only have one more stop a couple weeks from now at JomezPro. And, there's a lot of things in the line outside of this one event. And when you realize that you're down 4 with 2 to go, there's not much you can really do.
Right.
And playing for those points is an important thing. This is our job. And this is Ricky's job. And playing for the most money is how you are the best professional you can be. Coming into hole 18, just an absolute beauty. Par 4, uphill the whole way. And they've lengthened this hole to make it even more difficult. 680 feet, playing closer to 800 in its distance. It's going to take a perfect drive for anyone to put themselves in position to attack this island green into. Paul just playing somewhat conservative, I believe, off the tee, just staying in bounds, not hitting the early rock wall.
Yeah, kind of throwing it. There is OB. As soon as you get past that little gravel road, you can kind of see on the right there. Once you get past that, there is an out-of-bounds lane that starts. So he's playing that conservative shot just like Kyle's doing here. Short of that to where they can just kind of pitch up and play for par, really.
And par in many ways. This is the hardest hole in the course, 4.65 average. Par is almost a birdie on this one. And that's exactly how you have to throw the disc if you want to put yourself in prime position. And Ricky that's a gem.
Yeah, that's a chip shot from there into a tight green.
Now Calvin's got to kind of match that. Now he's got a little bit of separation. Obviously a bogey here from him and a birdie from Kyle. And Kyle would leapfrog up for the tie.
But a birdie for him and a par from Ricky, and then they leapfrog each other. So we got a
lot of action going on for everyone besides first place. But Kyle saying, if I want to birdie this hole, it's going to have to be from a throw-in, as he elects to play the safe hyzer.
And a wise choice from him from there.
And Paul will most likely be doing the same, looking up at that high hyzer just to lay it up. Try to get as close to that wall as you can. Yep, that's about as close as you can get to the wall. Calvin looking like he is actually going from the green, and this is a very aggressive place to go for the green. Just crossing over that wall. That will precede him to the drop zone.
Ricky almost getting a big skip, but playing that as good as you can possibly play it right into the rock wall, little 12-footer for birdie, and that will secure his second place finish.
A nice birdie finish for Rick. Obviously, it's not much consolation for a man who came into this round with a 2-shot advantage. At one point, I think he may have had 4 or even 5 shots on Paul, but Paul McBeth
just 100 feet away from a...
Just needing to lay this one up, but I don't think he's laying it up. Yes.
Wow.
Well, that's a grand slam at the bottom of the ninth when you're already up 5 runs.
That's what you call a putter flex on the field right there.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Somebody with that big lead going into the final hole and just deciding, I'm just going to rest right here on those rocks.
A couple push-ups.
Oh, my God. That is insane. This man is an absolute freak in the best possible way, and that's fun.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah,
I mean, it puts a smile on all of our faces. It's Paul McBeth for you.
Yeah.
I mean.
That is so sick. And so Ricky secures his second place finish. A 4-under round is not a bad score for a lot of players, but the way that back nine played out certainly felt a lot more painful than that. Hard to battle a McBeth who shoots a 10 under par with a bogey.
2020
Hot round for the tournament.
Champion, Paul McBeth.
Paul McBeth, just incredible play. Let's go to the man for an interview.
It feels good. I mean, it was a battle. I knew it was going to be a battle, and I just had to just keep fighting out there. And I didn't really make many mistakes, so that really helped me. There was only one I can really think of that I really made a mistake on, and I'm just happy for that. Hole 5, I feel like I got more of a bad roll than anything. It's actually 11, the upshot on 11. I threw a great drive, and we decided to go with the forehand. I should have just stuck with the backhand, and that was the only. I guess, mental mistake that I made today. Yeah, shot a 10 down. I think I played a little safe there at the end, which I wish I would have just been a little bit more aggressive. It would have taken a little bit more pressure off here at the end, but yeah, 10 down, great score. 2 more Disc Golf Pro Tours. I want to play well at that, and then the 1 major we have left. But yeah, 2 weeks off, and then 3 weeks on, and then the year's over. A little bit different atmosphere, but it's still a fun track to play, and yeah, I'm grateful to be, back-to-back winner.
He just never lets you forget how good he is, does he? I mean, he is a persistent son of a gun, that Paul McBeth.
Yeah, it's tough for us to forget when he's in the lead card every weekend and just racking up those titles.
Well, there is your top 10 leaderboard. A great event, obviously some exciting action. We had controversy, we had ups and downs, big putts, we had hole-in-ones. There was just everything that you could really ask for besides spectators and caddies here in Leicester, Massachusetts this week. Any takeaways from this event, Paul?
Yeah, like Paul, I think McBeth said, is going down the stretch. He has 2 more events, and this one's, makes him a back-to-back winner, and that's going to be tough going into the next 2. He has all the confidence now. We saw Ricky say that he has it, and now it's just going to be a battle for the rest of the year, really.
Thank you so much to the JomezPro Founders Club, of course. And if you want to get entered into a Grip 6 prize pack giveaway, head over to grip6.com/JomezPro to get entered in to win. Always good merchandise provided by Grip 6. Thank you so much to OTB for supporting the coverage, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys at the Jonesboro Open.